In this video, we're looking at how to do a VLOOKUP in approximately 3 minutes or less. I've recorded another video on XLOOKUPs and VLOOKUPs and why VLOOKUPs are now obsolete. So you're either watching this video because you didn't realize there's something called an XLOOKUP, so I do suggest you go and check out that video, or you may be looking at an old document where you see VLOOKUPs and you need to understand how they work. So let's dive straight into this example where we want to look up the salary, employee ID, and department for 5 individuals from a much bigger payroll dataset. You'll see the dataset here on the right, and then you're going to see here where we want to look up just 5 people from that dataset. Using a VLOOKUP, where we type equals VLOOKUP, initially we need to pick the lookup value, and in this case we want Amanda Martinez. So once we've got her, I then hit comma. I then need to pick the table array, and when it comes to a VLOOKUP, and this is the most critical part of a VLOOKUP and why an XLOOKUP is a much better option now that it exists, is with a VLOOKUP, it's going to look up your lookup value in the first column you pick. So the table array that you pick always has to have the first column where you need the lookup value to be looked up. So in this case, Amanda Martinez, her name is an employee name, so this is correct. If I picked this as the table array, the formula would no longer work. It would error because it'd be trying to look up Amanda Martinez under employee ID. So in this case, I pick this table array. The next thing I need to do is to type the column number. And in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, salary is in the 4th column. I then want to put in 0 because I want an exact match. Once I hit enter, I have Amanda Martinez's salary looked up. I'm then just going to enter this formula, fix the lookup area, and copy this all the way down. The key thing to remember about VLOOKUPs is that when you write the formula, the first column needs to be where you want the data and your unique identifier to be looked up. You then have to pick the number of columns. If you have a bigger data set, something I used to do before I started using XLOOKUPs was to just type numbers into the table that I was using, go back to the VLOOKUP, and then just link it in there, because then for certain I know I've got the right number. Of course here I would have to fix that and then drag it down, and then this formula still works. The final thing to note is the limitations in VLOOKUPs that XLOOKUP now helps solve. And that is that in this case, I wouldn't be able to look up the employee ID now using a VLOOKUP. And that's because employee ID is in a column to the left of the column that has my lookup value in it. And as I said before, and that's because employee ID is in the column to the left of the column we need to look up. So when selecting the table array, this is no longer going to work. So in the past, I would have either had to rearrange the data or potentially have just used another formula like an index match. So there you go, VLOOKUPs done for you, but you don't need them, you need XLOOKUP, so go check out that video.